Hello and welcome to Infamous, the audio podcast. This is Brandon or Mutilus on Discord.
This is Aaron. I go by Triffenwood on Discord.
This is Josh, go by Grummelzog on Discord.
And welcome to episode 302. Everyone said we couldn't do it. We did it just to spite them. So now we don't really know why we're here anymore, just because the spite seems like it's run out.
Well, we have to finish IBBL predictions. We can't stop until those are done. Then it.
You have to figure. Wait. Oh, your KCBBL. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, in a segment that we haven't done in quite a while for our MCP listeners, Josh, what's next?
News! Let's go news!
Hey,
News!
News. All right. Well, in news today, Aaron, did you see the news? It's pretty big news.
It's game changing, actually.
Yeah.
Game changing. Is this miniature hobby related?
No, it's rules of the game related.
The game. Which game are we talking about?
MCP.
Okay. I did not see the news today about.
There was a
anything
large
MCP.
press release. I am now going to read verbatim on air.
That's scintillating podcasting. Go ahead.
Posted by AMG. The upcoming Marvel Crisis Protocol update is now planned for August. We know many players have been eagerly awaiting this update, and we truly appreciate the community's continued patience as the team takes the extra time needed to ensure everything is ready for the tabletop. The studio is working hard to make sure that this update lands with the clarity, care, and impact players deserve. We look forward to sharing more soon and cannot wait for you to see what waits ahead. So, the news is no news. The news has been delayed again.
This is the second time.
I think it's easy to get very frustrated with this, especially for people that are currently disheartened with the game, because you're kind of waiting for a change, and they promise a change, and the change doesn't come, and it just keeps getting pushed down the line. I think it's good that they show transparency. One, they don't just say it's been moved back. We're working on it. I think this heavily implies that they weren't happy with where things were, or there's things that had not had the final polish that they really want. And assuming that it's not just a bold-faced lie, and they haven't been working on it, and so it's behind because they've been, slacking basically. That's good. I think they need to make sure that it's properly done. We've seen what happens when they rush things before. Things come out with incorrect power costs or wrong hit points or stuff. There's all kinds of issues that get caused. So if this is them applying the quality check that we've asked for in the past, that's good, right?
Yes. It is. We had a discussion in our own little chat about this, and
The secrets of secrets.
And we've all been kind of disheartened on the game for a little bit. And it's not necessarily that we don't enjoy playing, it's that nothing has changed, and we keep getting promises of change, and then the promises get pushed back. And so it has now gone past it's a quality control to, do they know what they're doing kind of worry.
Yeah.
Because one delay, okay, I get it.
Because this was originally announced in March, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out in May. Then they said, I think it's May. Then they said July, and now, we're a week into July, and they're like August. And it's like, okay, well, what's happening that there is this essentially last minute pushback, and why have you not figured it out?
Well, in their defense, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, because I obviously am saddened but that it's been delayed, and it sounds like you're very saddened that's been delayed. So devil's advocate, I have heard through the grapevine, originally the plan was basically hit point adjustment to legacy characters to make them more in line with current releases, and then small touches on specific models. Then the rumors have now turned into, Magneto's getting almost a full rework. expect Sinister to actually be cloning people. And so, like, if they're actually going through and doing a lot of tweaks to make things more in line on, iconic legacy characters like, Magneto and Sinister and people like that, I think that's worth the wait. But if it's what is advertised, we're saying we're just putting the polish on things, well, I can proofread 50 character changes in 2 days pretty comfortably, I would say, and it doesn't take me 5 weeks to do that.
Yeah.
And so if it's something that requires 5 weeks, I don't see how playtesting isn't involved in that, especially when it's a PDF and not physical release.
Yeah. I'm actually very happy you made that point, because that is basically the crux of my concern. Not concern. That's the wrong word. I was like, okay, cool. Like, when we first heard of this update, it was going to be, okay, some people are getting some stat changes, some health pools are changing. Like, quality of life is what I would consider that. And I was like, that's good. Like, there are models that are, 1 dice here and another HP there from being usable, like being actively chosen. But now my hope is up that I'm like, maybe there's like people just getting massive reworks. Like, I don't want to say 2.0, but like maybe this is enough that it's just a whole new thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm gaslighting myself into believing that's why it got pushed back again, is because it's such a big deal that they wanted to make sure they got it right and they're waiting. And then I also remember that this is the company that put out and paid someone to print a card where their abilities cost no power, and then sold you that in a box. And my hopes were dashed. So,
Oof,
I think
just
the
to
bigger
be honest, problem is that
just to be
they
honest
sent it
with myself,
to be made into an acrylic card. I think that's more of a concern, that like she missed it the first time, and then the second time you're like, yeah, print this in solid gold, and you're like, still no one caught it. So that's a concern, obviously.
That's where I'm floating out.
But hey, I mean, like, you can't ask for scrutiny and then complain when scrutiny takes time, right? So it's not fair for us to do both, is complain that it's taking a long time and complain that it's bad. Unless, it does come out and it does not have the polish that they promised. So we'll see.
That's really my concern.
Only time will tell on that.
But
I think for several years now, the game has been moving in a direction that I'm not particularly fond of, but it seems like the longer it goes, or it had been going, we had gotten to like a more and more solved state, and that kind of really hit its peak with Shang-Chi and Namor for a period, and then things got switched up a little bit. And I don't think the game is in the most solved state it's ever been in, but it's not in an interesting place for me. And I think a large part of that is the Crisis Pack. I don't think the models are preventing the game from being in an enjoyable state for me. I think it's mostly the scenario packet. And it was interesting to me as soon, like literally before we even got our cards, because our shipment got delayed. I don't think that was a large scale thing. I think that was just our store, because Asmodee did some restructuring on the way they handled our account. So we had actually heard rumors of they were talking about the next Crisis Pack before we had even physically gotten our stuff.
Yeah.
And also, it's like, it seems like they're super devaluing the Crisis Pack anyway, because they don't even give you the cards you need to physically play with. So if you're going to force me to print to play, why wouldn't I just press print on more options to save myself like $60? It just seems like a weird choice.
Well, the other thing is we still don't have the print to play for the new ones. They have not deigned to put out the PDF of the new missions.
Oh,
to print to play. I'm looking at the website now. It is last year's. It still says Challenger Crisis Card Set 2025. And
are you sure that there's not just another one somewhere else that we're missing?
I am looking at the website now, and I do not.
Because we just read through all of them. I mean, where are people getting people have the images.
So that's basically what it is.
They're just printing it from a third-party site.
Printing it from people that have screen capped because they put them all in an article.
Yeah, but they're not in a self-contained document.
Not
anywhere.
One of their nice official little print to plays, which I would like to give them kudos. I just did that for Star Wars Legion and printed out a shit ton of stuff, and it was very nice. So, yeah. So, I don't know. It's not super confidence inspiring, but I can't change anything about it. So I'll just keep humming along, doing the things until it eventually resolves itself. So.
Or you can just play more Blood Bowl.
I mean, I am actively doing that too. So.
Okay.
Now, I do believe I'm gonna, after our league is done, my Trench Crusade campaign box should be here, and so I'm gonna do a campaign, which I'm very excited for.
Okay.
And then that will hopefully give me time to keep trying out some Blood Bowl teams and see what I like for the next league. So it's gonna be Blackworks. I'm actually lying to you right now. It's going to be Blackworks, but.
That's fine. Blackworks
I'm trying to convince myself. I'm like, no, Josh, try other teams, see what you might like. Like, it's just gonna be Blackworks.
Blackworks are different enough than dwarves that you'll be fine. It'll be a different experience.
Yeah.
It's still one that you'll probably find enjoyable. I'm glad to hear that you're still playing and enjoying Trench Crusade.
I'm having a great time. It's hard to find games, but like most people I play with, summer has been very busy. But I am. It's kind of like why I wanted to do the Blood Bowl League as well, is I think I really like the idea of, I guess, a narrative, like building up your guys and things happen that you can't control, and like that sounds very appealing, and so that's why I'm excited for the Trench Crusade one. Is it's the whole point is just to play games and tell a narrative and have a good time. So
I'm very happy for you.
Cool. Aaron, do you foresee the update to MCP getting you back in?
It would take a community that I was not part of sponsoring. Like if
so you're saying that you don't want to be involved with the logistics, but you would play it if it was being played.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Okay. Like if there was a tournament or a game night or something to that effect, I would happily bring my models and play games. So that's where I'm at. But I apparently curse everything I touch, so we're just not going to run any events for a while.
We were talking. That? Go ahead, Aaron.
No, we're good.
You don't curse anything.
Oh, I curse everything.
Maybe you should be bad, less good at games, and then you would have less fun, and then it would be a curse.
Okay, I'll try that.
But we were talking in our chat today that we miss tournaments. It's been a hard year to do them because I've had a terrible year. And my nephews have been quite busy. And CJ has gotten his work schedule just kapooey. And so it's like, we'll be like, maybe we'll go do this tournament. And then everyone's like, well, no, there's a list of things happening that weekend. So
I was going to say, isn't Adepticon like the last real tournament anybody went to?
Yeah.
I know that the whole fiasco with that kind of left a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
Yeah. Well, plus it's a little bit of also like, we've all been waiting on these updates because, like, I enjoy writing lists and sitting down and thinking through things. And there's no point if, allegedly, at some point in the future, that could all change. So it's hard to, like, sit and, like, really try and, like, hone something or, try jank shit in a list that might work if it's just going to all go kapooey in a month. And then they keep going, maybe next month. I'm like, okay, cool.
Alrighty. Well, let's transition into another thing I'd like to mention, that this isn't real news. It happens, I think, several weeks ago at this point. The GW summer teaser video that was released, whatever you want, I don't even know what it's called. But basically, they just went through the roadmap for the year for all their different games, their flagship games. And Old World was mentioned. Josh, I assume you paid minor attention to this?
No, I still read everything GW puts out for any game system, so.
Fucking weird, okay, whatever.
I don't know why.
I don't have that much
I only
time,
play one, but the article comes up, I'm like, cool, we're going to read the whole thing. So.
Which one is that you play, by the way?
Allegedly Old World.
Okay, well, I was going to say, because you're actively playing Blood Bowl.
Yes, I guess Blood Bowl as well.
Wasn't, I don't believe it was mentioned in the article, but... so anyway, for Old World, they're releasing a new box set. That box set is going to be Warriors of Chaos versus Grand Cathay, I believe.
Yes.
I'm a little fuzzy on the second one. There's a bunch of new sculpts for Warriors of Chaos, which is good, because despite them saying they make models for Warriors of Chaos, I would like to see you rank up a unit of knights on 30 by 60s. It's just not going to happen. You'd have to glue them like tail to the base and just point the knights straight up in the air sometimes, like to get them to fit. The models are way too big, like because they're designed for AOS, which is a different scale. Even the models I have, which are 3D prints of a third-party company, don't really fit on the base unless you downscale them. And they're noticeably smaller than the GW models. And so you have to cut like 30% out of the scale to get them to rank up. Which is fine. They're not that's what they're intended for. So anyway, they released the video of a bunch of the new models, which look pretty good. I have my normal OCD concerns about them. Primarily, they're a little different than the old, which anytime I always freak out when stuff changes, but I do like the way they look. I don't know that they really capture the original aesthetic. However, they are way better than the models we used to have, so it's hard to complain about that. My only big concern is that scale creep is coming, because the reasons I just mentioned. You go from originally these guys were on 25s, now they're on 30s, and now the new models look noticeably bigger than the ones that were on 30s. And so I'm just concerned that you're going to end up with... I'm sure you've run into the orc issue, because you're ranking up orcs for Old World, and you're ranking them up on 30s, is that right?
Whatever they're on now, yeah.
I believe they're on 30s now.
They got bumped up from what they were.
Yes, because I had to do it on
the
25s.
Ended,
and
yeah.
It was nearly impossible. Yes. It was Jenga. You were trying to jigsaw these people together.
Yeah.
It was so hard. And so I'm worried that Old World is going to have the similar problem, because they're so interested in size creeping the models to make them visually more impressive, and they're not worried about the problems that causes logistically with playing the actual game.
I have lots of thoughts on that if you want them.
Sure.
The new models are rad. There's something about them that I still prefer the simple, clean aesthetic of the older models.
Are we talking about specifically the Warriors?
The Chaos Warriors.
Okay.
And I saw a couple things, I think on Reddit, where people were like, actually, this is how Chaos Warriors look in the art. And so if you go through and look at the art, it's like, no, there's spikes and all sorts of crazy shit. And they are great models. My problem with them is I know that they've brought over a sculptor, and he clearly did the Chaos Dragon, but they brought over one of the better sculptors from Age of Sigmar into Old World, and he's really good at what he does, and that's a problem because I'm a dog shit painter and I can't paint those beautiful models that well. Like, at best I can dry brush some nonsense and try, but they are too hard for me to paint. That's how. Go ahead,
That's
Aaron.
a podcast channel I want to listen to.
Me trying to paint?
No. What you just said. Paint some dry brush and try. Something to that effect.
Yes.
So you're getting a little ahead of where I was at.
Okay.
But I completely agree with the opening of your statement there, where you're like, there's just something about them that doesn't resonate with my nostalgia for Old World Warriors of Chaos, which aesthetically speaking was one of my favorite armies. I know they're kind of boring for some people, but I just I saw the Mark of Chaos game trailer. I will never forget how cool Warriors of Chaos are. That trailer made them terrifying.
I still watch that trailer.
Yeah,
I still go back 20 years later. I'm like, I think I'm having an ADHD moment or something. I'm going to watch the Mark of Chaos trailer.
Dude, it's so fucking
It's so
good.
cool.
Because it captures the fear that you would be inspired by seeing this 7-8 foot tall mutant in full plate mail that's got warp spikes coming out of his shoulders. You're like, yeah, that guy's going to kill all of us, not his friends. Just that one guy is going to walk through our unit. And you're like, yeah, there's really nothing you can do about it. And it really made it because when you're playing the game, they're all just models, right? You're not afraid of the models. And you play the game, it's like, why are these 4 dickheads meat grinding through my unit of Empire Swordsmen, and you see that trailer, you're like, oh, I get it. No, I fucking get it. Like,
Yeah.
it's like the Terminator. You can't beat this guy. Like, and so it was so cool. And the new, just something about the body proportions just don't line up. Like, they're a little too chubby. They're a little too bulbous. Like, it's like they went for a more realistic look, and they don't look bad. They look good. It's just something is missing. And it's like the cartoonish over-exaggeration is, I think, what's missing. Like the new orcs, for example, in Warhammer 40k, like the Beastnaga boys, they don't look bad. They're beautiful models, but they're not orc models. They're just greenskins, right? Does that make sense?
Yes, I would agree with it. And I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
There is something to be said for the older aesthetic. Like if they released, I think it's the 5th edition dwarf models, where they're really like kind of over exaggerated. Yeah, almost like cartoonish looking. I love those models. They just have so much character. And like, are they cool models? No, the new ones are way better
They're
looking.
so cheesy, yeah.
But they just have something there that grabs me, and I'm like, yes, I want that. I want to see that.
And GW is one of the few companies that has kept that like it factor, that like it's unquantifiable. It's just the it that you can't tell, like you can't describe to somebody to have them make it. They just have to get it. And then that's why one of my favorite third-party artists, especially for Old World, is Highland Miniatures. He just gets the Warhammer like chibi aesthetic, where it's just like you have to exaggerate the right parts of the model and have this like you have this grim dark with a cartoonish flair, and it's just like he nails it. Like his models look more GW than GW models do, and I love it. And so I have like all of his stuff. But yeah, it's just like the Warriors of Chaos are just missing that little it factor. But they are beautiful models. I wouldn't be upset to have them.
Yeah.
Now moving on to the dragon. The dragon is the 2-headed Chaos Dragon. It is comes with either the Sorcerer or the Chaos Warrior Lord. And they went out of their way to explain that they give you enough parts to make one dude on foot and one dude on the dragon. And so you'll either get a Sorcerer Lord on foot and a Warrior Lord on dragon, or vice versa. And they also went out of their way to say it's the largest plastic model they've ever released. So, my James Workshop ease tells me that means this model is going to be absurdly expensive.
Yeah.
$200.
It's like,
oh wait, largest plastic model ever released?
I think they mean like corner to corner, like, you know, TV monitor scale, like because the wings are huge too. By volume, I highly doubt it's the biggest. Okay. But that's what they technically say. Because like
compared to some of the Grey Knights and shit.
Yeah,
those guys are pretty big.
By Grey Knights, you mean like the Dread Knight?
I don't know.
It's gonna be way. I think you mean Imperial Knights.
Probably big stompy things. Yeah. People play like 2.
No, yeah, I think the wings will be way taller, because if you just go to wing point, it'll be way taller. But there's a lot of stuff bigger than Knights.
Okay.
It's mostly like Angron, because like, you know, he's big, he's smaller than a Knight, but his wings go like way up. But yeah, I think he's going to be around the $240, $250 range, because they went out of their way to explain that you're getting the value of this $40 character in addition to the dragon. And I'm just like, oh man, I can tell they're doing the prepare people in advance talk. But yeah. I told John this at the store. I'm probably going to end up buying it. It's such a beautiful model. I don't even care what the price point is. Like, it's so rare for me to say that too, because I like to hold companies accountable. There is no, like, I don't know if you remember the Angron model, or not, the Archaon model, excuse me. The Archaon model that came out when he was on like the 3-headed Manticore thing. That's such a cool model.
It is
cool. It's like, okay, but like there's nothing to compare this to, right? Like, it's truly unique. And so like if you're just I'm selling you Angron on a dragon, you're like, all right, fine, I'll take it. Like she's like, just give it to me. I don't want to know how much it costs. Like, and so it looks beautiful, and so I want to rag on them for making a crazy expensive model, but I honestly really don't care how much it costs.
I will agree that it is a crazy beautiful model. As soon as I saw it, it was a super no from me, because it's
what do you not like about it?
fucking big. That
I don't
model
care.
is going to be. You're going to need your own goddamn case to put it in.
Yeah, it will take up 3/4 of a Jokaki case.
And like, there's no way. And I, that is so many things in like AOS where I'm just like, it's okay. Maybe I'll play AOS, and then I look at it, I'm like, how does anyone transport these goddamn models? Like, there's no way. Because I really love the
like
aesthetic.
The Gargants, those things are so big.
I have debated a Gargant army so many times. I'm like, I like giants. It's 5 models, like, cool. And then I look at A, the cost, and then B, I go,
Yeah.
how do I fit all these in one box?
I
Like,
don't think a Gargant will even fit in our organizer trays. Like,
No.
not even counting the base size, because the base I know won't fit. It's
Yeah.
too wide. But height-wise, I don't think one will even fit height-wise in the case, which is absurd. It's a single model that won't even fit in an army case. But yeah, when you come to talk about like Warriors of Chaos, they're like the centerpiece. Like they're so elite, they're so like crazy that they're already like the forefront of any army. Just having like chosen warriors is like such a big deal. And then like you go up to like, all right, well here's like a Manticore Lord. You're like, well that's a centerpiece. This is a centerpiece of centerpieces, and so it's not for everyone, right? They're not saying everyone needs to go buy this. In fact, they've disincentivized taking this model in the game as much as they humanly can. It's nearly physically impossible to field it in a 2,000-point army. It's been effectively banned because it was so crazy.
Yeah.
Because you have one model that's a third of your list. And even then, you can even make it more expensive than that. It's so stupid. Because the regular guy on the dragon is like 495 points with 0 upgrades. And you can give him 250 points of upgrades on top of that.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. Because like I think
Yeah,
I was
'cause if you take
trying
a
to
Chaos
do
Lord,
and you put him on a dragon. I think just that.
It's
No
495.
upgrades.
I've
It's
checked.
495.
So you only get
yeah.
And so they added a rule that no individual model could be more than a quarter of your list. And so you have 5 points worth of upgrades that you can put on that dude. Because people are running around with a 700-point Chaos Lord on Dragon. It's just like, there's nothing you can put into it that compares to it. Because it is the elite guy on the elite thing in the elite army. Like, they're just the best. Now, will that one thing kill enough of your opponent's army to justify its point cost? Probably not. But your opponent isn't going to have a fun time finding that out because they just push their meat grinder of doom through your list. It's like, yeah, just stand in front of the Death Star. Whoever's there is going to have a bad time. Yeah. You might kill the Death Star, but who cares?
We'll just keep...
It shot through 3 planets while you were fighting it.
We'll just keep feeding ships to the Death Star and hope that it slows down the beam.
We line up into a single line, surely it'll slow down the laser, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, it won't.
So, segueing into companies and their model decisions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. I've been dreading this conversation.
Have you been? Okay.
Yes, actually, because I know no matter what logical thing makes sense in my brain, the opposite will happen. It will piss me off, and it will always go the way that disincentivizes whatever I'm doing the most.
Got it. Yes, you're I'm sure going to hate this for some reason. I still have mixed thoughts, but there were issues with the production of the latest Judgment set of models. And so the best way to overcome those issues was to release the next 3 models in high-quality 3D prints instead of resin. Oh, sorry, instead of molded resin. That's it. That's the end of the news release there. My concern as a consumer is it's the same price, and despite
they're not letting me 3D print them. They're 3D printing them and mailing them to me, and I have to pay MSRP for them, or I have to pay. The store has to pay their cost, but if I want to buy a 3D printed model, I have to do that.
Yes, I assume you get whatever the wholesale price is. But
I would be fine with that if they were priced appropriately. Like if they were like, let's say 30% off. Because I know what the cost is on 3D prints versus like, casting molds. So
that was my concern too. I'm like, I don't mind there being issues and you went to do the molds and realized the model was too complex and you're going to transition to that. But why do I feel like I'm getting a lesser product for the same amount of money?
I'm curious as to who is doing their 3D printing. I'm not saying that they can't do it. They won't do it. I'm not saying any of that. I'm curious because it really matters. And like, are they using the highest dollar like resin to make sure the models are as high quality as possible? Because the difference in resin really makes a difference in the outcome product.
It's in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently the people who have the product are very happy with it.
Okay.
Now, they're not saying that they are happier than they would be with molded resin, but people who have it in hand are not like, oh, this is dog shit. So,
sure.
I will also second that from
Second what?
what
do you second?
Or what? Sorry, second what Brandon said, that it super matters who's doing the printing, because when Trench Crusade did their Kickstarter, they did not expect to blow up like they did, and so they had already contracted with a company that was not ready for the amount of orders, and quality control started slipping quite a bit. But they were already contracted, so once it was done, they switched to someone else, and apparently it's a lot better. But it's still a year later, people are still like, yeah, well, they have shitty models, da da da. It's like, no, the company they went through had shitty models and was just shipping it out to get it done.
I think we've long left the bridge of bad PR in the past. I think we're well past that when it comes to Creature Caster. At this point, we're just hoping you haven't heard of us before you get into our game. But
so, like I said, I'm not. Shit happens, and that's fine. I just really would have been happier if it was like you said, 30. You know, if a model costs $35, maybe it costs 20 to 25 in 3D printed stuff.
Yeah,
just because it's not like the same quality. So that annoys me. But I don't know
the
that
logic
annoys me
train
enough to like not buy it.
Yeah, I'm going to trust somebody to use high quality resin and also perform the printing well, and then they're going to clean it, de-support it, package it, mail it internationally, and then I'm going to open it at my store, in which I could have just printed it anyway. It's like, that seems like a whole lot of rigmarole for you to keep your profit margin.
I mean, you are correct. Yes, hopefully.
Not to mention, like, there's no requirement that we use the official models anyway.
Yeah. Hopefully, the actual product is extremely high quality, right? And I realize anyone can 3D print anything, but most people probably can't print what I will call professional quality.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is that easy and accessible, but
so the other issue is, like, a lot of people don't know like the ins and outs of like 3D printed resin, and like they don't know that like it keeps absorbing UV light even after it's been produced. And so like if I am going to set it on my shelf and it isn't purchased for, let's say, a year, if it's just absorbing UV light from the window, the resin in that package is going to be effectively ruined by the time you open it. And so are they packaging it in UV blocking material like cardboard or something? I'm assuming not. I assume they're going to use the same clamshells they use for everything else. And I store my Judgment stuff right by the front door, and so yeah, I'm not super happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, if I were you, I would just take orders and buy exactly what people want. But anyway, that was the news from the Judgment side of the house. Was production issues, the solution is 3D printed. I'm perturbed, but not upset.
I think for the end result customer, it doesn't matter too much. Again, all the weight of this issue is being put onto the community leaders and the game stores.
Are you guys still bullying the developers, or
bullying?
Funny, you should say that.
Oh, did something else happen?
Aaron's like, I egged his house earlier today. I don't know.
You egged his house without me. You should have called me.
No, we don't bully developers until they piss us off, and then I say
not on purpose anyway.
So they came out with rules. No, I won't get into it. Never mind. No, we've been very
Aaron's
nice.
trying to open this can of worms.
Josh, we've been very
He's
nice.
Trying.
Okay.
I did get my first message asking about this earlier today, so it's good that I've now been informed. I assume that they publicly announced they're not going to be releasing the STL and that you have to buy the 3D printed model from them.
Yes.
Okay.
They didn't say that, but I think that's understood.
I could also understand not releasing it to the public and releasing it to specific people, but honestly, at this point, I am mostly over trying to think of a way to say this nicely. The time commitment involved to sell their game. And so at this point, I am mostly on the side of if they mess something up, or not blaming them, but like something gets messed up, I am not particularly interested in wasting a dozen hours of my time helping them fix it.
Sure. I mean, as a store manager, you do what you need to, and all it asks is if you choose to not stock, let us purchasers know so we can do something else. Otherwise, I will always purchase through the store because that's what I do.
Cool. All right. So we are coming up on the final normal regulation week of our league. We just got week 9 in the books. It looks like only the Gnomes and Skaven have not yet played week 9. And it looks like the Goblins and Skaven have not played week 8.
I asked him if he wants to play on Friday. We'll see.
Okay. All right. So let's recap week 9.
I'm sure I did amazing.
Yeah, that's how I would describe it.
Yep.
All right. So our first game is not completed yet, which was Gnomes versus Skaven. Second game was Norse versus Dark Elves. Was 1-2 was your prediction. We ended up tying 1-1. And I will say it was close to coming down to the 1-2 you predicted. And then Parker had some bad luck on injuries on the middle second half and had to deploy, I think it was only 7 models against my 10.
Yep.
And that was obviously rough for Elves. And then he had a couple blocks not go his way, which resulted in him basically being boxed in his own end of the field. And he was worried that I was going to actually get the ball and score and win the game. So he ended up basically switching to prevent defense and managed to get a big play to happen just to move the ball to the other side of the field. So I couldn't easily score. I had one way out, which involved, I think, a 6-up passing roll, which did not work. And so we ended up pulling it at a 1-1 tie. I don't know if you guys remember me saying that I showed Parker the void and he blinked.
Yes.
Do you guys remember this post?
Yes.
I posted that immediately after our game, and basically what had happened was we had both worn down our clocks. Parker played the first turn without the clock running because I didn't go get one. It's just I was having a bad dice game, and I know what happens when I get bad dice games. All I can think about is how long till the game's over, and without a clock, that is a question mark against some players. Parker, I would consider to be one of those players. And I also had a lot of stuff to do that day, so I went and got a clock, and we started playing on the clock. We get to the last turn. I have about 30 seconds left on my clock, but again, I have no current aspirations to score another touchdown, so all I need to do is make sure he doesn't score. So anyway, while he's trying to figure out how to prevent me from potentially scoring on my turn, he has about 2 minutes left on his clock. And he, thinks about all these different plays, and the clock basically runs out while he's still thinking. So I asked him, well, I should basically have 30 seconds left to play my last turn, and then you should have no time left to play your last turn. Would you like to just call the game a tie and end it, and not have me throw blocks against you for no reason? Or would you like to handshake the score and just play out the last 2 turns we just beat on each other? And basically just start saying how we want to finish this, because effectively I would just throw 2 blocks and we'd be done. Or does he want to actually play it out, or does he just want to handshake? Hey, we drew. Let's pick it up and just move on. He said, let's play it out. And so I said, okay. So I throw my first block against his witch elf, knock her down, which I failed to do previously the entire game. This is the first time she ended up on the ground. Boxcars the armor roll, and I look at him and I'm like, we need to decide right now if this counts or not. And he said, let's call it. Let's just call it. And we picked up our models. So he was like, I gave Parker the option of infinite time. And he's like, that's too much time. We need to stop.
That's funny.
Sounds like some motherfucking collusion going on right there.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we had a pretty interesting game. It was actually pretty even game. He had good dice in the first half, specifically on the first 2 turns. And I just couldn't do anything. And then so I was basically digging out of a hole trying to hang on and slow him down. And then he had the same issue early in the second half where he got behind and just couldn't dig himself out of the hole. All right, so then we have the Dwarves versus the Snotlings. Let's see how that went.
We tied.
We did tie at 2-2.
Just like I predicted.
Well, you predicted 1-2 Snotling victory.
Hmm.
Yeah, but anyway,
Ye
well, I think a
little
lot of
faith.
people, the first time they're playing against Snotlings have a bad time. I think that's the case.
I mean,
Because they're not expecting the how annoying sidestep is. They're not expecting how strong the 4 big guys they have are, and they're not expecting how strong their inducement game is. And so I think that combination of things usually involves people having a bad time until they understand the matchup
yes,
a little bit
I
better.
believe he tied on the very last turn of the game, and it was well earned. And I believe it also solidified my most kills trophy because I killed a lot of Snotlings. Not killed, but I damaged a lot of Snotlings.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that was when I was there when you guys were playing. I asked you, it's like, so what's your opinion of Snotlings? And your response was, I like rolling 3 dice.
I do. So it was very fun.
If you're there for the right reasons, you can have a good matchup against basically anything.
3 dice with block? Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Now, admittedly, against dodge, that's kind of annoying, but I think you have, 4 tacklers at this point?
Yeah, I have 4 tacklers now. So.
Yeah, so that helps a lot. You also have Dauntless versus the big guys, so you definitely had the tools you needed, which is good. Okay, so that gives us a total of -2 to your score, because you had -1 for my game, -1 for Josh's game, leaving us with the 3-4 prediction of Halflings versus Goblins. How did that go, Aaron?
3 to 4.
You predicted 3-4. That's correct.
Yeah, and that's what it was. Fucking amazing.
Was it?
Yeah, Mr. fucking Damas over here.
I feel like you need to get better at entering your results if that's the case.
I don't know. I don't know what the system says.
We have a 1-2 Goblin victory, which would be a result of -4.
I predict I win by 1. I win by 1 and get -4 somehow.
Don't call your shot if you're going to hit a single. That's all I'm saying. you need to get it over the fence.
I just said left field instead of right field.
This bold man predicted a 4-point game of Blood Bowl. Puts up 2 points, is like, I did it.
Glorious.
Yeah. So currently you're at a -6. We'll wait and see how the Gnome versus Skaven game goes, but I don't think it's got a good likelihood of pulling you out of the fire. Okay, so coming into our final week of Blood Bowl, we have Halflings versus Dark Elves.
4-2 Dark Elves.
You always just switch it. You're supposed to say the teams in order. That's how sports scores go.
What the fuck I want.
Okay, so 2-4 Dark Elves.
Yep.
And our next game up is going to be Dwarfs versus Skaven.
3-1 Skaven. Come on, Josh. Prove me wrong.
Damn.
Do it.
He's calling you out, bro.
I am.
Kenny, I've got your number and I'm coming for you if you hear this.
Have you ever played against Skaven, sir?
I've played against one Skaven. It was a star player on the other team. That's basically like playing against every Skaven. So.
The whole team. Yeah, it's the whole team right there.
Yeah.
The trick is you have to hit them harder than they hit you. It's just how you play.
I mean,
knowing
it might
Josh's luck, I honestly would put this more like a tie.
I mean, I am going to try to murder as many Skaven as I can in the game prior. So, you might have a shot.
I mean, I'll just do what I did in Brandon and I's game, where I had the ball for 13 of the 16 turns.
Yeah.
And I'll just make a wall, and we will advance that wall 3 squares down a turn.
Do it.
I think people think I like to complain about my injuries to an exaggerated amount. I just want to put this in context.
You don't like to, you just do.
My Valkyries usually get blocked somewhere between 2 and 4 times per game. Like, I do a really good job protecting my Valkyries, I think. They have block and dodge. It's hard to put them on the ground. In my last 3 weeks, I've had at least one Valkyrie out due to a serious injury. Like, that's how bad my injury luck is. It's like, you have to get them on the ground, which is already hard. So usually once per game they go on the ground. They're always breaking armor and always rolling an injury. Like, and then I'm using my apothecary on them, and they're still getting badly hurt. Or I can't remember what it's called. More than an 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm out for another Valkyrie in my next match. All right, so our next one up is Gnomes versus Goblins. I think you should put like 8-3. I think that's probably a very attainable score for you, Aaron.
2-1 goblins. I
I also
unlocked the
don't know if
strat.
you know this, Josh.
What'd you say?
Josh, I don't know if you know this. Aaron hasn't picked a first team. So when I name them, I go this team versus this team.
Yeah.
He hasn't picked a first team winner in like 3 weeks. They're always second team winners, no matter what's going on.
That's because Aaron does whatever he wants. So
Josh is correct.
All right. So gnomes versus goblins, we have a 1-2 goblin victory.
Finally, just call them
Norse
out
versus...
in the order that they're going to win. It'd be easier.
Oh, okay. Norse versus Snotlings.
We'll go 2-1 Norse. See how easy that was?
Mm-hmm. Interesting. He's predicting me to win. That means I have to throw it. He's trapping me because in order for me to wreck his score, I have to lose now, or at least draw.
Or you could win 6-5, and apparently I'd get negative $1 billion.
That is correct. All right. Taking a look at the leaderboards, Josh, you've been overtaken, I think, on fouls, right?
I know my trophy's slipping away.
Yeah, your non-existent trophy is slipping away.
Aaron, did he tell you it took me 6 or 7 games before I realized there was not a foul trophy? I had no idea.
Well, did you ask why there's not a foul trophy?
I'm curious about it now. Like,
Sounds like some bullshit from both you and me.
I put a lot of, and not only that, every single time I fouled, I rolled doubles. I have had one of my whatever I have 13 fouls not roll doubles.
That seems unstatistical.
So according to this, you fouled 12 times and you've had 4 players sent off.
That's because it's probably not been put in correctly. So
maybe you should put those in correctly then.
Well, first time,
First time. I see that Kenny is breakneck trying to catch me on completions. He's up to 8 now. He's almost got me. I'm only ahead by 19. I don't even care what you guys say. That he literally can't catch me. Oh no, because he's still got 3 fucking games to play. God damn it! I'm gonna have to really put it on in this last game.
You are.
I'm not even gonna try and score. I'm just gonna try and complete passes.
Are you gonna tell me there's a trophy for most completed passes or some bullshit like that?
There is. That's exactly correct.
But there's no trophy for fouling.
It was literally between Norse and Pro Elves. There was no question. I was gonna get the most completions. Got some real gerrymandering going on over here. It's fine. All right. So when we move into the following section, because we're going to have a bye week after this, then we're going to go into playoffs. While we're in playoffs, Aaron, I'm still going to have you do predictions, but I'm going to double the score for correctly predicting winners. And obviously there will be no draws because it's playoffs.
Okay.
Sound good?
Throwing me a bone. We'll take it.
Is there normally, I know because this is weird, because there's normally just ties. In Playoff Blood Bowl, I think we should reset the clock to 30 minutes per half. What do you think? So if you go to overtime, you got your normal hour 15, hour 10, whatever you want to call the base clock. Then you go to overtime because just you play halves, right? Not full games. So you play a half.
Correct.
I think you get a 30-minute chess clock half. What do you think? Because asking them to keep playing on the same clock when there's suddenly 8 extra turns.
No. You cannot do that. You either untime the playoffs completely, or if you want to be, I call it respectful of people's time, be able to make plans, then you can. 30 might be a little short, especially if you're considering that it's the playoffs, and you would really hate for that last one in overtime to come down to some random clock stuff when you had 4 minutes left.
Just call it 35 or 40.
Yeah, 35. But that could also be, 2 people playing a game could just, choose to ignore the clock, right?
That's true.
It's really there to make sure that, like I said, people's time is respected. You're not taking 8 hours to play a game.
Yeah. And I've seen 6.5-hour Blood Bowl games in playoff format.
That's gross.
Because they went to double overtime, and it was just oh my god, dude. It's just end this.
Yeah, I'll have to go and even see what the rules are. Is it double overtime or single overtime with?
You play until there's a winner in.
Well, at some point it's penalty kicks.
That's news to me. I will check on that.
Okay. Yeah, at some point I'm pretty sure you get to roll a die, basically.
What is penalty kicks? Is it literally just rolling a d6?
Yeah, I think you get like 5 d6 offs, and whoever wins the most of them.
Ugh. I would rather you do an actual kickoff where you kick the ball closest the end zone wins.
I mean, I don't think anyone cares enough. Set up whatever rules you want, and we'll play by them.
Ooh, sounds fun.
Most completed passes during the game is a tiebreaker.
Yeah. Most people named Bjorn on their team win.
I will fire every single one of mine. I'll roster 16, motherfucker.
That's fine. Oh boy, I need to look at my team. I think I've got some level ups too. In the last 2 games I played, I've been in a super big hurry after the game ended. All right, let's jump into Mojo World for this week. This week we are doing medieval movies, and so we have clarified that this has to be movies based on Earth history. So like Lord of the Rings wouldn't count, even though like the theoretical technology level is correct. It is in no way based on Earth history, so there is no medieval phase. And so, other than that, though, fantasy is open as long as it's based on the Earth timeline. Also, time travel movies have been permitted as long as they involve medieval. All right, Josh, you were not here last week, so you will get to go first.
I'm gonna go against the grain of what I normally do and not pick something obscure, and I'm gonna go with Kingdom of Heaven.
That was in my top 3 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Good pick. I actually didn't check.
Do I have to specify the director's cut or no?
No.
Okay.
Aaron, you get to go second.
It's clearly Monty Python.
Good choice.
That didn't make my list, but it was close. Is Holy Grail just the name of the movie? But I should probably put Monty Python.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's another movie called Holy Grail, but okay. With the back-to-back picks, I've got some good ones here. So I'm gonna go with Braveheart. I love me some Braveheart. It's a very good movie. All right, now there's some choices. I have a sleeper pick that I'm going to try and hang on to. Let's go with the 13th Warrior.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Aaron, you're up next.
I'm going to go with the should be non-vetoable Shrek.
Is Shrek based on Earth history?
Knights, dragons, castles.
Yeah, but like
there's no elves. It's clearly anachronistically.
Yeah, there's just
humans.
Ogres. Big deal. Main character is an ogre.
Fairy tale.
So it's not that there's fantasy stuff there. It's that is it set in medieval like Europe, or is it set in an alternate reality place that has nothing to do with Earth? And so the fact that it's medieval is just a coincidence. I'm fine with it. I don't really care. I think it's basically Robin Hood with fantasy monsters, right?
I'm gonna say yes because we did priorly agree to like Arthurian legend movies, which
I'm fine with it
out there. So
that's definitely the limit to what I will not veto.
That's like sitting
you're
on the
skirting
edge.
the line, but I think because it's all the implication is it's basically making fun of like medieval England that it's fine.
Okay.
Next up, we have Josh's back-to-back picks.
I am going to go. Oh God. Okay. I'm going to choose the one I really want, which is The Seventh Seal, which is a absolutely phenomenal movie. Cannot recommend it enough. It is not in English, so be warned. And then I'm going to go with The Northman.
E-N or A-N?
A-N.
Not plural. Okay. Alrighty. I have a movie that I'm going to suggest that you've probably seen, but if not, you need to see it. All right. Aaron, you're up next.
Robinhood, Prince of Thieves.
Did you say something?
Robinhood, Prince of Thieves.
Okay, you got quiet again. Okay. I've done 2 pretty serious movies, so I'm going to go with a fun movie with A Knight's Tale.
You're rocking it.
Yeah, while it's not the best movie, it is a very fun movie. Okay. Honorable mentions. I've got 4 that I think everyone needs to see.
I have 3.
Dragonheart, obviously.
Mhm.
Again, it's in the silliness vein. Like, it's very campy and silly, but it's still a good movie. Then we've got the serious ones. I've got Ironclad. Have you not seen Ironclad?
I'm gonna
Oh,
look.
you
That
would love
rings a
Ironclad.
bell.
It's about a single Knight Templar that is basically defending a castle under siege, and it's just kind of like a look into, like, you know, the
I'm
last dregs of the medieval age.
I'm looking at this cast, and I think I'm in.
Dude,
I think I'm ready.
you're gonna love this fucking movie.
Okay.
And then
Well, I'm excited.
the next
now.
one, which somehow nobody has seen. I've only met a few people who have seen this. Pathfinder.
Let me just
Carl
double-check.
Urban plays a Viking that was left behind in Native America, basically.
Okay, we'll segue real quick. Not segue. I have wanted to watch that movie for
It's so good.
long, and it's
Dude,
just
the
never on
antagonist in that
streaming.
movie is badass.
And because I remember that, like, I still remember seeing the trailer for it
It's
when
great.
I went and saw Ninja Assassin, I think, which I love,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then I've just
You're-
never seen it, and it's a crime.
It's
So-
really good.
Okay.
And then finally, The Black Death with Sean Bean. Have you not seen that either?
I have not seen that either.
Oh my god, dude! Those 3 movies you're gonna love. They're exactly Josh movies.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I didn't pick those because I thought you were gonna pick them.
Yep, we're just.
They're all just really gritty, like
The
mean, brutal
Yeah.
movies.
Pathfinder
Sean Bean plays
for $4
a-
on eBay.
I can't remember like what his job is, but he's basically just like some kind of like military type guy for England, and he's roaming around. And they find this lone town that's untouched by the plague, and it's basically a witch hunt. They're like, okay, well, clearly you guys have done something. You're in concert with the beast because you haven't had the plague. And they're
Mhm.
like, no, we just, we believe in like, karma and, everything comes around, goes around. So we're really nice to everybody. We don't get it. And he just spends the whole movie in that town trying to find out what the fuck is going on. And then shit hits the fan at the end of the movie.
So, like I said, if you can get through it not being in English, if you like the kind of themes that you just pitched to me,
I've heard Seventh Seal before. You're not the
Seventh
first person to
Seal
recommend it.
is phenomenal. It is such a
I think
good
it's
movie.
on my list. I'll check.
I would say you could borrow my DVD, but unfortunately, I got one of the bad ones they made, and the disc.
I don't
died,
own.
so-
I don't own an optical drive, so
Oh.
I have no way to watch disc media anymore. All right, what are your honorable mentions, Josh?
So first one, cannot recommend this enough. It took me 2 watch throughs to really enjoy it, but The Green Knight, which came out in 2021.
That's
It's
also been recommended.
It is the lead is Dev Patel, who's a good actor. The first time I watched it, I was like, eh. Second time I watched it, I was like, no, this movie is legit.
Okay. Next.
Second one is admittedly a little bit of a stretch, but Seven Samurai by
That's a famous movie.
Kurosawa.
so, like, a lot of-
It is technically medieval, even though it's Japan. Brilliant, just fantastic. Not in English as
That's
well.
like one of
but-
those like top 100 all time.
That's one of the ones that hits like it's always in the top 5 of movie lists. Like I watched it, it's like 4 hours long.
It hits
I
a lot
think.
of notes too. It's not just an action movie. Yeah.
Good, so good.
Okay.
And my final one is the animated movie Sword in the Stone, because I loved that movie as a kid.
I think I've seen that.
It's literally just King Arthur, but Disney. I think it's Disney.
Maybe I'm thinking Quest of Camelot.
That's also a good one, but Sword in the Stone was one of those ones where I was like, man, I love this movie.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen this. Yeah. Okay. All right, Aaron, what do you have for honorable mentions?
I just have the parody, Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Okay, that's fair. There's been a fair amount of Robin Hood movies at this point. Maybe we should do Robin Hood movies next time.
What's funny is you probably could. I was very disappointed. Last 2 weekends ago, I wanted to see
There's a new one, yeah.
the new one, Death of Robin Hood, with Hugh Jackman. And for some reason, my local theater wasn't showing it. They showed it like opening weekend, and they're like, okay. I was like, do I want to drive like 40 minutes to AMC to see it?
Yeah.
It's a 2 hour 40-minute movie to drive 30 minutes back.
I want to say it's like because the way movie theaters do movies is kind of weird nowadays. They like rent a hard drive.
Yeah.
And then they give the hard. I want to say they give the hard drive back when they're done with it, because it's all digital now, as opposed to back in the day. Because back in the day, they would buy the reel, and they would have to buy one reel per obviously theater they were playing it in. And now I think they just need the one hard drive for each movie they want to play. So I think that's encouraging a lot of places to move on quicker than they used to. And so as soon as movie like ticket sales drop below this line, they just axe it.
Yeah.
But
well, and movie theaters are in such a weird place right now. And like you have like I think it's called Obsession, which has made $500 million or something wild currently, and it's just a little indie horror film. And so they're like, well, why would we do Death of Robin Hood when we could just keep running this film?
Yeah.
So
cool. All right. Aaron, what's your opinion on vampires in a league? Is that a bad guy kind of thing to do, or is that not a bad guy thing to do?
I don't think anything's a bad guy thing to do.
Okay. The teams I'm currently floating around the most are... Because I think Nurgle would just be boring. Khemri is already kind of spoken for, so that would be another team I would be interested in. I definitely want to look into an undead team. Shambling Undead are decently high up the list, but vampires are ahead of them. Just because I love the aesthetic of vampires, I love the models I have for vampires, and I've never gotten to play them really ever. I've never even put them on the table. I tried to play them in one video game league, and I think I made it a half a game before I just got frustrated and quit. So I really want to try them.
They will be very hard starting out.
Yeah, exactly.
And potentially a menace by the time the season's done.
Right. Yeah, and I think it'd just be fun. The other option is Pro Elves, which I think will be amazing early and a complete train wreck by the end. So all your people will just be fucking dead.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, if they die, you get to start over with brand new ones, and your TV doesn't go up, and then you get inducements. And
they just seem like they'll be boring towards the end of the league because they're really good at scoring. They're really bad at everything else, and they don't scale well, kind of like dwarves. They kind of just already have all the shit they need. And so there's only like two guys that, like, you want your catchers to get block, you want your blockers to get dodge, and then anything else is gravy. Nothing else is required. That's the team built, just like dwarves. Like, you need like 4 skills, your team's done. Then anything above that is, it's nice to have, you want to have it, but at that point you're almost arguing, is it worth the team value? Because my guys are already so expensive.
Sure, and this is what happened in my and Parker's game, right? So he's got a bunch of stuff on his people, right? So I had billions of gold to spend. I ended up getting Vera Gulchur as a star player. There was a high kick. I got to put Vera under the ball. He got the ball, and then Parker was like,
and that's pretty much it.
How do I get the ball off that guy? I guess I run away, and I just murdered him as he ran away. I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll just walk down and score.
And like, for a smart player, you just put them 1 square out of stalling range, and we just camp there until 2 turns from the end, and then I walk in. And that's only if you care about the 10,000 gold. If you don't care about 10,000 gold, you just stall.
Right. But I guess my point was, Parker has a very good, well-developed team, but he doesn't have anyone on his team with strip ball. Like, well, where is your ball sack? He's like, my ball water? Like, okay. Well, at this point in the league, in the development, so you're right. You don't need a lot of skills, but then as other teams around you develop, you kind of do. Is I guess my point.
But that's like a meta thing. Like, it's a lot of people's first league. We wouldn't necessarily know that. Like, that's like a veteran player kind of thing, or veteran coach thing.
Well, I don't play leagues
either.
I
need a ball stripper. Like, well, why would a dwarf player think he needs a ball stripper unless he's played in multiple leagues?
Okay, fair enough.
I don't even know what that means. No, I do. That's
you need somebody who can get the ball off of a blodger. But if a blodger has sure hands, then strip ball doesn't do anything. Like, once your runner gets block dodge, like, there's the only way to knock him down is to get a POW, basically, or I guess if they have tackle, or wrestle.
Yep. tackle, wrestle, strip ball are all great secondary skills after you get, like you said, you have a couple people that want some very key skills, but the rest of your skills should be like wrestle, tackle, strip ball, kick. Just situational skills that will come in very useful on some of your linemen if you need to.
I love wrestle Valkyries. I think they're really, really nifty. But in a league, I think I'd prefer to have block. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a preference thing. I feel like the number of times wrestle is actually better is limited, but still relevant. Anyway, so I think I'm leaning towards vampires, and so I just want to make sure it's not like a bad manners thing to play vampires into fairly new people.
Everyone, if we're talking about the same group of people, has enough experience that's fine, in my opinion.
It's more of an issue of this isn't fun to play against, and that's like a dwarf issue. It's like, it's just not fun to play against your team because nothing is going on. It's just a lot of very average, efficient plays, and there's like no point of attack. And so like, I'm either going to outmaneuver you, or I'm going to outstat you. Those are the only two ways to be dwarves, because they're just so good at everything else.
It should be the maneuver thing, which I think is a skill that you should be able to learn to, practice and learn. Like, okay, how do I deal with this wall of meat, whether it's dwarves or Nurgle or black orcs? Playing against those teams will help your positioning skills.
Yeah, I think it's hard to learn how to play against dwarves a lot more than it is hard to play against like black orcs. It's black orcs, there's just obvious points of attack because like, oh, you have little guys and you have big guys. I'll attack the little guys. I'll avoid your big guys. But dwarves is like, they're all medium guys.
Fucking 7 of them though. Like, how do you avoid 7 black orcs? You don't.
They're slow as fuck though.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're gonna base you with 7 straight 4 guys and be like, okay, what are you gonna do?
Say, I learned to play against dwarves when the lineman had tackle, and that was bullshit. That was fucking dumb.
Only if you were playing Dirty Edge.
I didn't play Edge, it was just still annoying.
Okay.
Because if there was a dwarf player in the league, nobody picked up dodge as a skill. It's like everyone just bought block, and it just made the league very boring.
That sounds, I guess block. Everyone having block.
Not when everyone has it. And back then, there weren't gnomes. Wrestle was like not even really a skill in the game, it felt like.
CJ's going to be so sad. I have 0 block on my entire team.
No, I mean, it's still useful on the offensive side, right?
Yeah, I just mean he's normally
getting
use for it. Whether it's offense or defense, he's still being like, oh, I have wrestle, you have block. I don't care, you're still on the ground.
My critique of wrestle is I think it should be a must. I don't think you should be able to choose not to use wrestle.
I have no critiques.
Do it.
So I have no critiques. I like the skill as it is.
I just don't like it when it's like when you're using on defense and the other guy gets trapped into knocking himself down. And it's like, oh, I'll just take the armor roll. It's like, well, every other skill is like kind of like there are optional skills, but there's a lot of not optional skills too.
Sure.
Anyway, just like dive tackle. Dive tackle should be before the reroll.
1,000% agree. Diving tackle is
that skill is
busted bullshit.
Fucking dirty, stinky dog water.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that skill.
I passed, but you might diving tackle, so I guess I reroll. Oh, I failed.
So,
I guess I'm not going to diving tackle now.
The fucking dwarf blitzers have both tackle and dive tackle. You're spending a team reroll to reroll a successful dodge roll on a model with dodge, and it just feels like you should hang yourself. Like, what is this game state? Like, the most ridiculous.
That's what they got for losing tackle everywhere and guard access. So
I still call bullshit. Like, it's terrible. Dwarves have enough. Dwarves could get nerfed right now and they'd still be good. Like, fuck dwarves.
I know what I'm playing next season.
By the way, there's going to be some optional rules implied on dwarves next season. They're all move 1 and armor 6. Have fun. Yeah, so I'll start taking signups after we finish playoffs here, but the next league won't be for a while, so there's no rush. I just want to make sure people have time to work on their models.
Yeah, especially because I'm churning through selling a lot of MCP stuff, so I can make room to actually have a spot for my models in my case. So,
yeah, there is something I want to talk about, but I don't have the time, so we'll talk about it next time. I'll make a note here. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed. This has been Brandon.
And Aaron.
And Josh.
And you just listened to The News is No News.
So what are we gonna call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just gonna put down infamous.